The night sky over Earth was calm, filled with stars as usual. Children pointed to the constellations, lovers walked under the moon, and scientists studied the heavens. But on this night, something changed. The stars were moving. At first, no one believed it. But then governments across the world confirmed the impossible truth. An alien armada had entered Earth's domain. Massive ships blocked the stars, their dark hulls stretching for miles. They were not here for peace. The armada did not send greetings or signals of friendship. Instead, they released waves of energy that silenced satellites, disabled communication, and cut off Earth's networks. Within minutes, the world was blind and deaf. In the streets of New York, London, Beijing, and countless cities, panic spread like fire. People screamed, ran, and prayed. Some shouted that the end of humanity had come. Others tried to reach their loved ones, but found phones dead, radios silent, and screens filled only with static. It was as if Earth had been thrown into the dark ages within seconds. From orbit, the alien fleet looked unstoppable. Colossal battleships, shaped like blades, hung in the sky. Carrier vessels released swarms of smaller craft, each one carrying soldiers trained for war across the stars. The aliens had crushed other worlds before, and now Earth was next. They believed the invasion would be quick, simple, and final. Inside their command ship, the alien leaders spoke with cold confidence. "This planet is weak, unprepared, and divided." One said, "They will fall before the galaxy even knows." Another agreed. Their arrogance was complete. They saw Earth as nothing more than prey. But on Earth something stirred. In hidden bunkers deep beneath mountains, humans watched in silence. Generals, scientists, and leaders who had trained for this day gathered in secret war rooms. They were calm, not panicked, because humanity had known this day might come, and humanity had prepared. Unknown to the galaxy, Earth was not as helpless as it appeared. For decades, strange signals and hidden probes had been detected. Mysterious objects were captured and studied. And from those secrets, humanity built weapons unlike anything the aliens expected. Technology stolen from shadows of the stars, combined with human creativity. Now, when the Armada arrived, humanity was ready. The first wave of alien ships entered Earth's atmosphere. They moved with precision, planning to strike military bases, power plants, and major cities. Their weapons charged with energy bright as suns. People on the ground watched in terror as the skies glowed red. It seemed certain that the world would burn. Then, without warning, one of the alien ships exploded. No missile was seen, no laser fired. The ship simply vanished in a flash of light. Alien commanders shouted in confusion. Who fired? What weapon was that? But their sensors found nothing. The humans had not launched aircraft nor fired rockets. To the aliens, it was as if an invisible hand had struck them from the shadows. Panic spread through the alien fleet. Another ship vanished, torn apart in silence. Then another and another. Their advanced shields did nothing. Their scanners could not track the attack. It was impossible, they thought. This primitive world could not have such weapons. On Earth, hidden deep underground, a small group of human operators smiled grimly. Their hands moved over silent consoles, controlling weapons the galaxy had never seen. These were Earth's hidden guardians. They had waited for years, ready for this moment. And now their secret war had begun. Across the planet, people continued to panic. But above them, unseen battles raged. The alien armada had expected an easy victory. Instead, they faced an invisible enemy. The humans fought silently, erasing ship after ship without leaving a trace. No broadcast escaped. No warning was sent to the wider galaxy. Every alien signal was jammed, cut off before it could leave Earth's orbit. The alien commanders grew desperate. They ordered all ships to fire on Earth, to destroy everything in rage and fear. But as their weapons charged, more ships exploded. It was as if Earth itself was striking back. confusion turned to fear, and fear turned to silence. For the people of Earth, the night was filled with terror. For the aliens, the night was filled with death. But for humanity's hidden defenders, it was only the beginning. The Armada thought they were hunters. They were wrong. Earth had been waiting, and the galaxy would never know what was about to happen. The Alien Armada was built for conquest. They had destroyed countless civilizations, taken worlds, and erased histories. But this night above Earth, their perfect record began to break. Ship after ship was vanishing, not from human missiles or fighter jets, but from something they could not see. Alien commanders shouted orders across their fleet. Scan every continent, one demanded. Trace the energy source, another growled. But their scanners returned only static. No missile trails, no launch sites, no heat signatures. It was as if the attacks came from nowhere. The truth was hidden deep within Earth, buried under mountains, beneath oceans, and inside hollowed bunkers were weapons the galaxy had never imagined. They were not missiles that screamed through the sky, nor lasers that painted the air with fire. They were invisible beams of energy, born from alien technology humanity had secretly stolen and rebuilt. These weapons did not launch. They erased. The moment a target was locked, it simply ceased to exist. The aliens called their fleet invincible. But to the humans, their massive warships were nothing more than practice targets. Far below the Rocky Mountains, in a bunker that did not exist on any map, a team of human operators worked in silence. The room was dim, filled with screens showing symbols instead of maps. Each symbol represented an alien vessel in orbit. Every few seconds, one symbol blinked red and disappeared. No sound followed, only a quiet nod from the commander. Next target, the commander said calmly. The operators obeyed, moving their hands across smooth glass consoles. Another alien ship vanished without a trace. There was no cheering, no celebration. This was not a game, it was survival, and survival demanded silence. The alien fleet began to change tactics. Their ships pulled back in a higher orbit, spreading across the skies. Instead of advancing together, they scattered, trying to confuse Earth's mysterious weapons. But it made no difference. One by one, they still fell. Inside the alien command vessel, panic began to break the once proud discipline. How was this possible? One officer cried. This world is primitive. They cannot even reach other stars. Yet the evidence was clear. Their fleet was shrinking. Their communications were being blocked. Their calls for help never left Earth's orbit. The alien commander's voice grew sharp. They must have help. Another empire hides here, guiding them. But when the scan showed nothing beyond Earth, no fleets, no allies, no hidden stations, fear struck deeper. It was only the humans. This week, species was doing the impossible alone. In London, New York, and countless cities, people looked to the sky. Some saw lights flicker as alien vessels exploded far above the clouds. Rumors spread. Are we fighting back? People asked each other, do we have a chance? But government said nothing. Every broadcast station was silent, every leader hidden away. The truth could not be told. The fewer who knew, the safer Earth would remain. Meanwhile, a second layer of humanity's defense came alive. Not just the mountain bunkers, but hidden satellites disguised as space debris. For decades, humans had placed them in orbit, pretending they were dead machines. Now they woke. Their weapons hummed with silent energy, invisible beams lashing out against alien ships. From the perspective of the aliens, even empty space betrayed them. The alien commander slammed his clawed hand against the console. Impossible, he roared. This planet is a trap. We must burn it to ash before we all die here. His voice shook with rage, but beneath it was fear, a fear his soldiers had never heard before. The order was given, all remaining ships to prepare planetary bombardment. But before the weapons could charge, more ships vanished. Every attempt to strike Earth was erased before it began. The aliens had brought fire, but humanity had built silence. A silence that swallowed entire fleets. In the underground command room, the human general watched quietly. "Keep the transmissions blocked," he ordered. "No message leaves this planet." Around him, scientists and soldiers obeyed, their faces cold. They knew what was at stake. If even one alien signal escaped, the galaxy would come, and humanity was not ready for the entire galaxy. Yet, the general turned to the largest screen. It showed the shrinking fleet above Earth. "The world must never know," he said softly. "Let them believe we are still helpless. Only then can we survive the next wave." The operators nodded. They continued their silent work. Another alien ship was erased, and another after that. Above the world, the armada that came to conquer was being buried. Not with noise, not with glory, but with shadows. And so, the hidden war continued. People on Earth thought the night sky glowed with storms. Aliens thought they were invincible hunters. But in truth, humanity had already become something greater. The Alien Armada believed Earth's strength had appeared suddenly. They thought humans were lucky or protected by some unknown ally. But the truth was far more dangerous. Humanity's power did not come overnight. It was born from shadows, from secrets buried deep in history. Decades before the invasion, strange things had fallen to Earth. Meteors that were not meteors, signals that were not noise, wreckage that belonged to no human craft. Governments denied it, scientists argued, and the public was left with only rumors. But behind closed doors, humanity had already begun preparing for war. In the deserts of New Mexico, in the frozen wastes of Siberia, in secret islands far from maps, wreckage was hidden away. Crafts that did not belong to Earth were taken apart piece by piece. Engines that bent space, metals that could not be melted, and weapons that fired without flame. All of it studied in silence. All of it reforged by human hands. At first, progress was slow. Machines would fail, scientists would argue, and experiments would end in disaster. But humanity had something the aliens never expected: stubbornness. Where other species might give up, humans pressed forward, even through failure. Every mistake became a lesson. Every lesson became a weapon. In underground labs, generations of scientists gave their lives to secrets they could never reveal. They built weapons that were never shown to armies, machines that were never seen by the public. Entire projects erased from history books, hidden behind lies and false reports. But the work never stopped. Because somewhere, deep in the human mind, there was always the fear, we are not alone. And that fear turned into preparation. By the year 2050, humanity had things the galaxy thought impossible for a young species. Invisible energy weapons that left no trail, satellites that could erase ships without being seen, and AIs that could think faster than any alien commander. Earth's governments fought wars with each other. Yes, but in the shadows they also shared one silent alliance. The knowledge that one day something would come from the stars. And when it did, Earth would not kneel. In one bunker beneath the Pacific Ocean, a commander stood before a row of young soldiers. They were not chosen for their strength, but for their silence. No one outside these walls knew their names. They trained in secret, spoke little, and lived only for the day the alarms would sound. And now, that day had come. The commander told them the truth. Every world the aliens have conquered believed they were alone. Every world they burned was unprepared. But we are not like them. We have been waiting, and we will not let the galaxy know. Not yet. The soldiers did not cheer, they did not cry out. They simply nodded, because they had been raised for this moment. They were the shadow army of Earth, invisible even to their own people. Meanwhile, deep in the archives of a hidden facility, rows of black files told the story of humanity's secret war. Photos of alien wreckage labeled only with numbers, documents stamped with classified in fading ink. Old scientists with tired eyes remembered the first discovery, the first time Earth had proof that the stars were watching, and they remembered the promise they had made. Never again would humanity be prey? As the alien fleet continued to fall in silence, the galaxy remained blind. Not a single signal escaped Earth's orbit. Not a single warning was heard. The galaxy still believed humans were weak. But the truth was that humanity had already been fighting a war in silence for over 100 years. The Alien Armada was not their first enemy. It was only the first one bold enough to step into the trap. On the alien command ship, confusion turned to terror. "They were ready for us," one officer whispered. This was no accident, no miracle. This was a plan. The commander bared his fangs. "Then we are fighting a predator disguised as prey." And he was right. For while the galaxy saw humans as fragile, emotional, and untested, in secret, humanity had already become something else. Something dangerous. Something patient. Back on Earth, the human general stood before the glowing map of the orbiting fleet. "Do not let any escape," he said softly. His voice carried the weight of generations who had lived and died for this secret. The world above did not know the truth, and it must never know. Because if humanity's strength was revealed too soon, the galaxy would come with everything it had. And even humanity was not ready for that yet. So the Armada burned in silence. The skies were filled with flashes of light, but no one outside the hidden bunkers understood what they meant. The people of Earth thought they were helpless. The aliens thought humans were prey. But the truth was far more dangerous. Humanity had always been waiting, and now their secret history was being written in fire. The Alien Armada had come to Earth with fire and pride. They believed the planet would kneel within hours. But now their ships were vanishing one by one, erased by weapons they could not see. And worst of all, no call for help had reached the galaxy. Inside the alien command vessel, panic spread like a sickness. "Transmit again," the communications officer begged. "We must warn the others." But every frequency was blocked, every channel silenced. It was as if Earth itself had swallowed their voices. The commander snarled, "Then we will burn the planet until nothing remains." His claws tapped across the console. "All ships prepare planetary bombardment, target their capitals, their military bases, everything." The fleet obeyed. Dozens of ships lowered their weapons, power surging into cannons that could tear mountains apart. The sky above Earth began to glow with deadly light. Billions on the ground froze, staring at the heavens. The world was about to end. But humanity had not been waiting only to defend. They had built weapons not just to protect Earth, but to strike back. And now, the counterattack began. Far above the planet, dead satellites came alive. For years, they had drifted in silence, nothing more than junk. But now their hidden cores activated. Panels unfolded, weapons hummed, and invisible beams cut through the dark. Alien ships preparing to fire suddenly exploded. Their mighty cannons never released a single shot. In the oceans, hidden submarines rose to the surface. They were not armed with missiles, but with something far stranger. Silent projectors that twisted gravity itself. Alien landing craft were pulled from the sky and crushed like paper before touching the waves. The ocean swallowed them without leaving a trace. The alien fleet roared back. They launched swarms of fighters sleek and deadly, designed to hunt in packs. But as they dove into Earth's skies, they vanished from radar. Not because humans couldn't see them, but because humanity's hidden drones were already waiting. Stealth craft, invisible to alien scanners, pierced their formations. No gunfire echoed, only sudden flashes as alien fighters were erased from existence. The aliens were used to war filled with noise. Explosions, screams, and burning skies. But this war was different. It was fought in silence. Their enemy was invisible, their attacks unstoppable. It was like fighting a ghost that struck from everywhere at once. Inside a secret control room beneath Antarctica, human commanders watched the battle unfold. They spoke quietly, their voices steady. "Keep the jamming active," one ordered. "Don't let a single distress signal leave orbit." Operators nodded, hands moving across controls. Every alien transmission died before it could escape Earth. The galaxy remained blind. A scientist in the room whispered to herself. They thought they were the hunters. Her eyes glowed with the screen's reflection. But they are only prey. On the alien command ship, the mood shifted from anger to fear. They had expected to crush a primitive world. Instead, they were being dismantled piece by piece. The commander growled, "Find their weapons. Destroy the source." But their scans revealed nothing. No bases, no ships, no signatures. The humans were striking without being seen. The commander's second-in-command looked at him with wide eyes. What if the humans are not alone? What if another empire aids them? But the commander shook his head. No, this is their doing. This is humanity. Then came humanity's boldest move. For the first time, Earth struck not only at the fleet above, but at the command ship itself. The humans had located it, hidden deep in the swarm, and they unleashed a weapon even the aliens had never imagined. From the dark side of the moon, a cannon powered by stolen alien technology fired. It did not shoot light nor missiles. It bent space. The energy tore through the void and wrapped around the command ship. For a brief moment, the massive vessel shimmered like glass in water. Then it was gone, ripped apart into nothingness. Silence followed. The fleet lost its leader in a single strike. Alien officers screamed in disbelief. Their war god had fallen, not in glory, but in silence. On Earth, the human general gave a quiet nod. Good. Now, finish the rest. And so humanity did. Every alien weapon that charged was erased before firing. Every attempt to retreat was cut off. The fleet that once covered the skies now burned as silent debris. The people of Earth saw only flashes of light in the night. They did not know their world had just erased an armada. They did not know their hidden guardians had struck the deadliest blow in human history. But in the shadows, humanity knew the silent counterattack had begun. And with every ship destroyed, one truth grew clearer. The galaxy believed Earth was weak, but Earth was already the most dangerous secret it would ever face. The alien fleet was breaking. Dozens of their ships had already vanished, crushed by weapons they could not see. The silence of battle was worse than any noise. Every commander knew it. This invasion was failing. But still, the aliens had one weapon left. Their fortress ship, a vessel so large it cast shadows across entire continents. It was not simply a warship, but a moving city of steel. Millions of alien soldiers lived within its walls. Its cannons could destroy moons. And as it descended into Earth's orbit, the skies shook. The alien commander of the fortress spoke with pride. Let the humans tremble. No world has ever survived the wrath of our flagship. We will erase their planet and their silence with it. On Earth, hidden bunkers trembled as sensors locked onto the massive vessel. Operators stared in awe at the readings. It's bigger than anything we've seen, one whispered. The general did not flinch. Then we must show them what they have not seen, he replied. For years, humanity had prepared for the possibility of such a weapon. And deep beneath the surface of the moon, a device long kept secret now hummed to life. It was not a cannon in the old sense, not a missile, nor a laser. It was something alien, rebuilt with human stubbornness and imagination. A weapon that bent the very fabric of space. The fortress ship charged its main cannon. The skies over Earth burned red as energy gathered. People on the ground dropped to their knees, believing their final hour had come. But then, before the fortress could fire, the moon itself seemed to breathe. A ripple of distortion stretched across the void, invisible but unstoppable. The fortress ship trembled. Its armor groaned, its shields failed, and in the blink of an eye, the mighty vessel folded in on itself. The city of steel became a collapsing star, torn apart by the very space around it. Millions of alien soldiers were erased in silence. The most powerful warship of the Armada was gone. Shock swept through the alien fleet. Their godlike weapon, their pride, had been destroyed in a single strike. Panic echoed across their ships. "If even the fortress is gone, what hope do we have?" one officer cried. Some ships tried to retreat, others tried to fire blindly into the void. But nothing changed. The humans struck them down all the same. The turning point had come. The hunters had become the hunted. The galaxy's most feared invaders were now prey, caught in Earth's trap. In the command bunker, silence hung heavy. The operators looked to their general. We destroyed it," one whispered, unable to believe what they had seen. The general's voice was calm. "Do not celebrate. We have only begun. Every ship must be erased. Not one must escape. If even one signal reaches the stars, the galaxy will know." The operators nodded, their hands steady once more. The mission was not victory, it was silence. Above Earth, the surviving alien ships lost discipline. Some tried to ram through Earth's atmosphere, desperate to burn cities before being destroyed. But ground-based weapons intercepted them, invisible beams striking them down before they touched the clouds. Others attempted to flee into deep space, but their engines flickered and failed, sabotaged by human interference. The aliens had entered Earth's domain. Now, they could not leave. Inside one of the smaller alien cruisers, a soldier trembled. His claws shook as he looked at his commander. Why are they doing this? Why not claim glory? Why not broadcast their strength? The commander stared into the black void. Because they do not want the galaxy to know. We are not fighting for victory. We are being erased. And he was right. One by one, alien ships blinked out of existence. Not destroyed with fire, not left as wreckage, but erased so completely it was as if they had never been. The turning point was not only the destruction of the fortress ship. It was the moment the aliens realized they were not fighting against desperation. They were fighting against patience. Humanity had not panicked, had not screamed to the stars for help. They had waited silently, and now they struck with precision, ensuring no witness survived. The invasion that was meant to be remembered across the galaxy would never be remembered at all, because no one would know it happened. On Earth, the people still did not understand. They saw strange lights in the sky, but no bombs fell, no armies landed. They thought perhaps the aliens had left. But in truth, the aliens were being erased above their heads. And deep underground, the general whispered to his staff, "This is the turning point. They came to erase us, but we will erase them first." The fortress ship was gone, folded into nothing by humanity's secret weapon. For the first time in their history, the Alien Armada had no leader, no fortress, no hope. The hunters of the galaxy were now prey, trapped above Earth. Ships that once moved with perfect discipline now scattered in chaos. Some fled toward the dark edge of the solar system. Others dove into Earth's skies in desperation. But everywhere they turned, humanity's invisible hand struck them down. Their fleet was being erased piece by piece. In the underground command bunker, the general's voice was steady. "Do not leave a trace. No escape pods, no transmissions, nothing." Operators nodded, their fingers dancing across glowing controls. On the screens, alien icons blinked red one by one before vanishing forever. A scientist whispered to herself, "This is not just defense, this is extermination." But no one corrected her, because it was true. Above the Pacific Ocean, 3 alien cruisers tried to descend into the atmosphere. They planned to crash themselves into cities, destroying millions in one final act of revenge. But before they could reach the clouds, they collapsed in silence. Gravity folded around them, tearing their ships apart without fire or noise. Only small fragments fell into the sea, and even those were swallowed by waiting submarines. Nothing was left behind. In orbit, a group of alien frigates turned and fled for deep space. Their engines blazed, but suddenly their lights flickered out. Hidden satellites had already locked onto them. The frigates blinked away one by one, leaving only emptiness where they had been. On one alien destroyer, chaos filled the bridge. Soldiers screamed, alarms echoed, sparks rained from shattered panels. The commander bared his fangs. "Where is the enemy? Why can we not see them?" No answer came, for the truth was simple. Humanity had chosen to be unseen, and against an enemy you could not see, there was no victory. Meanwhile, Earth's skies glowed with flashes of light. People across the planet stared upward. Some prayed, others cheered, but no one truly knew what was happening. They did not realize that above them, the greatest fleet in the galaxy was being erased in silence. The governments of Earth kept their silence too. No broadcasts, no explanations. To the public, the invasion remained a mystery. But in the hidden bunkers, the truth was clear. Humanity was erasing every witness. The alien commander of one surviving ship tried to send a last desperate signal. Warning, humanity is not. But before the transmission could finish, his ship vanished in a flash. The jamming fields ensured no word ever escaped. The galaxy would remain blind. In a command bunker, one operator asked the question everyone feared. "General, are we becoming like them? Erasing without mercy?" The general's eyes stayed fixed on the shrinking fleet. "They came here to burn our world. They would have erased us without hesitation. Now we must erase them, because if the galaxy learns what happened here, they will come with more. And next time, we might not survive." The room fell silent, not from guilt, but from understanding. They were not fighting for victory. They were fighting for time. Above Earth, the Armada continued to fall. Each ship destroyed so cleanly that no wreckage drifted. Every survivor erased before they could scream. It was a massacre in silence. The kind of war the galaxy would never believe. At last, only a handful of alien ships remained. Broken, panicked, leaderless. They gathered together in a desperate cluster, hoping that numbers might protect them, but it only made them easier targets. From the dark side of the moon, Earth's hidden cannon fired again. The ripple of bent space spread across the void. One heartbeat later, the final cluster of ships folded into nothingness. The invasion was over. The people of Earth looked to the skies and saw only stars. No ships, no flyettes, no invaders. They did not know that above them, an entire armada had been erased from existence. In the command bunker, the general spoke quietly. "Lock down the systems. Seal the archives. The world will not know. The galaxy will not know. This victory belongs to silence." And so, humanity buried the greatest invasion in history under shadows and secrecy. No record would remain. No warning would spread. The galaxy would continue to believe Earth was weak. But Earth knew the truth. They had erased an armada, and no one had lived to tell the story. The skies above Earth were quiet again. The alien armada that once covered the stars was gone, erased so completely that even their wreckage did not remain. Billions of people looked upward and saw only clouds, the moon, and the familiar constellations. They believed the danger had passed without ever knowing how close the end had come. In the underground bunkers, silence filled the control rooms. Screens that once glowed with hundreds of enemy icons now showed nothing but empty space. Operators slowly removed their hands from the consoles. Some stared in disbelief. Others sat with exhaustion heavy on their shoulders. The invasion was over. The general stood before them, his face calm. "We have done what was necessary," he said softly. "No one will know the truth. Not our people, not the galaxy. It must remain this way, because silence is our greatest weapon." Across the planet, governments issued vague statements. They spoke of technical failures in the alien fleet, of atmospheric breakdowns that forced the invaders to retreat. The public accepted these lies because they wanted to believe them. They wanted to think the aliens had left. No one imagined that humanity had destroyed them. No one guessed that Earth had just erased an armada. Far away, in the ruins of the alien command ship's memory cores, fragments of data flickered but never escaped. Every call for help, every desperate signal had been silenced. The galaxy remained blind. It still believed humanity was a weak, primitive world. It still thought Earth was prey. But the truth was far darker. Humanity had become the galaxy's most dangerous secret. In a hidden chamber beneath the Pacific Ocean, scientists locked away the weapons that had won the war. Satellites returned to sleep. The moon's cannon went dark. Submarines sank once more into silence. Everything was hidden, erased as carefully as the enemy. Because the plan was not only victory, it was patience. One scientist whispered to another, "What happens when they come again?" The older man's eyes were hard. "Then we erase them again, until the day we are ready to reveal ourselves. Until then, the galaxy must never know." In the streets of Earth, life slowly returned to normal. Children played, lovers walked, scientists returned to their work. But behind every smile was a shadow. No one truly understood what had happened in the skies above. No one knew how close they had come to extinction, and no one realized how far humanity had already gone. For the aliens, there was no record of their defeat. No survivors, no warnings, no debris left behind. Their empire would never know what happened to the Armada. It would be written off as a disappearance, a mystery, a whisper lost in the stars. But in truth, it was the beginning of something greater. Because humanity had proven one thing. They were not prey. They were predators who hid their claws until the right moment. Predators who fought with silence, patience, and shadows. And predators who had no intention of revealing themselves until it was too late. In the final meeting of Earth's Hidden Council, the general spoke the words that would guide the future. Today we erased an enemy. Tomorrow we erase their memory. The galaxy must never know, because one day, when the time is right, humanity will rise. And when we do, no one will be ready. The council agreed, their faces grim. They were not celebrating victory. They were burying it. For their greatest strength was not the weapons they built, but the secret they kept. And so, the Armada vanished from history. Earth remained silent. The galaxy remained blind. And humanity's secret victory became the foundation of a future no one else could imagine. The hunters had come, but the prey had erased them. And now, in the silence of space, the most dangerous story in the galaxy had only just begun.